You're watching Fox 22, Bangor. From the Great North Woods to the Rockland Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, we'll hear from traveling nurses who discuss the pros and cons of their field.
Plus, we'll hear some details of a scuffle yesterday that left one police officer injured.
And Senator Susan Collins was in Washington learning the latest federal response in combating fentanyl. This and more local news right now.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Joe Cortez. Thanks for tuning in this morning. We have a lot to get to. It's going to be another beautiful day here in Maine. It's Wednesday, so we got to get over the hump right into the weekend. But the good news is there's a little bit of showers moving around the area tomorrow. Today should be bright and sunny.
Sounds good. Let's hear from Devin Biggs on the forecast.
And thank you very much, Joe and Emma. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studio in the Penobscot Plaza in Bangor, providing custom ink by licensed artists for over 20 years. All righty, radar and satellites pretty quiet out there this morning. A little bit of precipitation off toward the north outside the country. For us, though, it's going to be another quiet day as high pressure is going to be moving over us, so things will be remaining rather quiet with the stationary front staying well to our south, bringing plenty of flooding rain over to parts of the St. Louis area and other areas watching for concerns of flooding along that front too. But high pressure will keep us nice today under a partly cloudy sky, and it won't be very humid either, and we will be staying dry, but we will be watching clouds tonight before we watch for rain chances that will be developing later on this week. The wind's not too bad, though. They'll be at around 5 to 10 miles per hour today. Nothing ridiculous. They'll mainly be out of the west, but kind of jumping around the direction from time to time as well. But for today, lower 80s, not as humid, partly cloudy, with that west wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And later on tonight, upper 50s on the way, becoming mostly clear, and the wind overall looking nice and calm. And for tomorrow, partly cloudy, maybe an isolated shower later into the afternoon. We'll have highs in the middle 80s, becoming a little bit more humid as well. South wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. And our early forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, partly cloudy skies, temperatures reaching for the lower 80s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Joe and Emma.
Thank you, Devin.
We begin this morning with the Waldo County Sheriff's Office looking for a missing teenager. According to the Sheriff's Office, 18-year-old Chase Harriman was last seen on July 20th. Chase is identified as a white male with blue eyes, weighing around 130 pounds and standing 5 feet 6 inches tall. There is no information on what he was wearing when he went missing, but the release states Chase has scars on his arms with the letters CH etched into his biceps. According to the Sheriff's Office, he may be going by the name Logan Bushnell. Anyone with information is asked to call Detective Casey Ashe at 207-338-2040.
The 15-year-old boy charged with killing a teenage girl from Mount Vernon last week has made his first court appearance. The boy was charged yesterday with intentional or knowing murder in connection with the homicide. 14-year-old Brooke McLaughlin was found deceased in her home just after 6 p.m. on July 18th. The Office of Chief Medical Examiner determined McLaughlin's death was a homicide. The 15-year-old suspect and the victim had been in a relationship, according to his Facebook page.
And in other news, a Brewer police officer was injured while responding to an incident outside Walmart Tuesday morning. Authorities say they were called to the backside of the Brewer Walmart for a man in crisis. City Public Safety Director Jason Moffitt says when one of his officers approached the individual, a scuffle ensued.
During the scuffle to get him detained and trying to isolate this person, one of the Brewer PD officers was injured. He has a head injury and possible whiplash.
Moffitt says the individual in crisis left the scene to be evaluated by medical staff.
A natural gas leak shut down roads in Orono yesterday morning. Firefighters were called to the area of Maplewood Avenue around 11 a.m. Orono Fire Chief Jeff Lowe says when they arrived, they found a significant leak from a large natural gas line under a lot of pressure.
We blocked off the area to keep people from traveling through the gas leak, evacuated homes around the leak, and then we started doing air monitoring to assess for gas levels.
Lowe says Bangor Gas was doing some underground work and accidentally ruptured one of their lines. He says it took them about an hour to shut down the line and get safety measures in place so people could return to their homes.
The COVID-19 pandemic continues to impact staffing levels of nurses across the country.
Many states like Maine depend on traveling nurses to provide additional care.
AJ Douglas spoke to one of the many traveling nurses here in Maine.
Marjorie Cooper has been a practicing nurse for the past 4 years and now operates as a traveling nurse. Cooper remembers working as a staff nurse at the beginning of the COVID-19 virus and says today's medical facilities are much more prepared for the virus.
The virus has also changed. When we had the original COVID virus, we weren't typically prepared to be able to handle the unexpected events that happened with COVID, such as coagulation issues, and we didn't even have the respiratory devices that we have now.
Cooper says although the COVID-19 virus has changed since the beginning of the pandemic, variants of the COVID-19 virus still can make people very sick and are still impacting hospitals across the country.
The U.S. healthcare system has been stretched to the max. We lost a lot of providers. We lost a lot of nurses due to COVID. And you can see that in your appointment times for your scheduled cardiac visits, for your scheduled general practice visits. We have very few beds in the state right now, and I would love for people to stay at home when they can, not spread illness when they can.
Cooper says she understands why there is a staffing shortage of nurses across the country, but encourages more people to join what she calls a rewarding field.
Nursing school is not comfortable. They break down the way you thought you critically thought, and they teach you how to think in a whole nother way, and learning is terrifying, especially as an adult, but I encourage it. And we do need more nurses out there.
Cooper says nurses require at least 2 years of experience prior to becoming a traveling nurse. She says the profession gives people a way to see different parts of the country.
If you want to travel nurse, that's fantastic. I think especially for young people who want to see the whole country and decide where they want to live and stretch their legs.
In Bar Harbor, AJ Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
And before we hit the break, if you're heading northbound on I-95 near Hamden around mile marker 179, according to Shannon Moss, there was a fire that broke out this morning. The traffic has been backed up for a little bit, but there is one lane open. If you are traveling in that area this morning, maybe think of a new alternative route.
Well, the time is now 8:07. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, Senator King recently co-sponsored a bill in attempts to expand services for veterans.
But first, here's another look at your forecast. Temperatures in the mid-80s today, partially cloudy skies, a little more sunshine. It'll be a beautiful day in store. Tonight, the temps dropping down to 61, partially cloudy skies overnight, and a chance of rain tomorrow afternoon with a high of 86.
It's our summer MPG event with fuel-sipping Toyotas, including electrified models.
You've been waiting for a new Toyota, so now's the time. Come and get it.
Come and get an electrified all-wheel drive RAV4 hybrid with 40 MPG and up to a 580-mile driving range. Plus, get affordable 1.9% financing on most RAV4 models. The summer MPG event at your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters.
So come and get it.
Toyota, let's go places.
What could possibly be better than our annual tent sale?
Wait a minute, I have a better idea. How about a no-tent tent sale?
He's right. Dorsey's has scoured their warehouses and suppliers for discontinued, slightly damaged, one-of-a-kind furniture and mattresses. You'll find great tent sale discounts of up to 50% off throughout our showroom. They save the cost of the tent, security, and weather damage and pass the savings on to you. Genius.
It's simple. Less cost for us, more savings for you, my friend.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for. So You Think You Can Dance is back, and you can watch anytime. The dance competition series that launched 1,000 careers.
That's what we're looking for.
Is back with new talent.
It's always been my dream to be on this show.
Ow!
New judges.
You have a gift.
And new inspiration.
No matter what I do, I'm just gonna dance.
Are you ready?
So You Think You Can Dance. All new Wednesdays on Fox, or watch anytime on Fox Now or Hulu.
Senator Angus King just recently co-sponsored a bipartisan legislation to expand access to assisted living services for senior veterans. Should this get passed, the Expanding Veterans Options for Long-Term Care Act would help eligible veterans receive assisted living care paid by the Department of Veteran Affairs. It would also create a pilot program at 6 Veterans Integrated Services networks nationwide, where seniors would receive the assisted living care needed. Senator Angus King says this bill will help both taxpayers and veterans.
The average price for a nursing home, $120,000 a year. For assisted living, $51,000 a year. A huge difference in price, so that's a benefit to the taxpayers. Plus, it's a benefit to those veterans who don't really need the full-blown nursing care, but need some assistance.
If successful, this could serve as a model for Veterans Affairs to expand this to all qualifying veterans nationwide.
Senator Susan Collins is calling on the White House to reduce the supply of drugs and improve prevention programs. Senator Collins attended a hearing in D.C. Tuesday titled Fighting Fentanyl, the Federal Response to a Growing Crisis. Collins questioned public health officials during the hearing, citing data which shows an increase of fentanyl overdoses in Maine. She says Dr. Marcy Sorg, who is a leading forensic anthropologist at the University of Maine, is calling the opioid crisis, quote, the worst it's ever been. According to the senator, a total of 9,500 drug overdoses occurred in Maine last year. She says 627 Mainers died from drug overdoses in 2021, and that fentanyl was involved in 77% of those deaths. During her visit to the southern border last year, Border Patrol officers explained how they've diverted resources away from drug detection due to the large influx of people crossing the border.
In 2021, the Maine Drug Enforcement Agency seized more than 10,000 grams of fentanyl. But they tell me they cannot possibly keep up. They are overwhelmed. And that Maine's overdose crisis is primarily driven by the increased supply of illicit fentanyl originating in China and smuggled through Mexico.
Kemp Chester is a senior policy advisor for the White House's Office of National Drug Control Policy. He says that traffickers are determined and will find ways to smuggle drugs into the U.S.
What we have to do is very quickly identify when we have new vulnerabilities, when the traffickers have changed the ways that they do business, and close those gaps and vulnerabilities as quickly as we possibly can. And that's what we're in the process of doing right now.
Senator Collins concluded her questions by mentioning a tragic death of a Maine teenager who died of a suspected fentanyl poisoning last month. She called for more education on the dangers of drug use for students here in Maine.
A Bangor program offering those battling substance abuse a second chance continues to go strong. Back in 2019, Penobscot County District Attorney Marion Lynch launched the Prosecutorial Diversion Program, which offers individuals facing nonviolent charges access to local resources and the possibility of a case dismissal. 3 years later, the program has helped around 500 participants and distributed more than 1,000 bottles of Narcan. The Bangor Area Recovery Network partners with the District Attorney's Office to provide a space, resources, and other supports for those fighting addiction.
Jail sentences really didn't help to empower me. They didn't really educate me on anything. They didn't give me any tools. It's an alternative to kind of just becoming a part of the system. And sometimes people get trapped within that system.
If you or someone you know is struggling with drug addiction, you can contact the Bangor Area Recovery Network by dialing 207-561-9444.
And the time is now 8:14. Coming up after the break, we'll hear about a struggling nonprofit that rehabilitates birds, but right now they're struggling to find volunteers.
Plus, a lab at the University of Maine is being recognized by the White House for their research contributions in their field. We'll be right back.
Up in Smoke Fireworks is family-owned with a huge selection including Brothers and Showtime, Time Bandit, and Black Hat brands. We will share our knowledge with you, then go have a blast. Up in Smoke Fireworks, 173 West Main Street, Searsport.
Check one, check two. The store's appearance may have changed throughout the years, but its dedication to our community and families has not wavered. We will still welcome you with a smile and top-notch service. If you need coffee,
check.
Tasty treats,
Check.
freshly made pizza, check. Or wine and spirits,
Check.
stop by and fill up your tank and check us out.
General Rental Center has been serving Central Maine with equipment and tool rentals for more than 30 years. Our extensive inventory contains everything you need to get the job done right. Our professional, knowledgeable staff is here to make sure that you get the highest quality rental items to complete your project and that they have been serviced and maintained to the highest standards. Power brooms to get that sand off the lawn, leaf blowers, brush chippers, stump grinders, aerial lifts, tillers, and excavators. We rent most everything. If you don't see it in our online catalog, please ask for it. If we don't have the item you need, we would be happy to help you find it.
Hey, can we show you something?
I'll allow it.
Something new.
I love surprises.
I mean, really new. Like a new car.
Well, this looks fun.
And a new schedule.
Hang on. We're keeping the road courses, right?
Yeah, Chase. We got you. And a new legacy in the making.
Hey, I just want to race.
New garages to call home.
Vamos, amigos.
And a whole new reason to love what we love.
Burnhouse. Winning. Racing.
I am NASCAR.
Up and Spoke Fireworks is family owned with a huge selection including Brothers and Showtime, Time Bandit, and Black Hat brands. We will share our knowledge with you, then go have a blast. Up and Spoke Fireworks, 173 West Main Street, Searsport.
Well, welcome back. A lab at the University of Maine was recognized by the White House for placing in a national competition.
Matthew Dronsick has the story.
A group of UMaine students and professors at VEMI Labs earned the experience of a lifetime, the chance to attend a White House recognition ceremony virtually. The group placed third in a unique competition put on by the Department of Transportation to create an autonomous vehicle software to help those with disabilities get around. After much brainstorming, they were able to come up with AVA.
AVA is an accessibility and inclusivity application that allows the user to order a ride on a ride share, and it tells you how, when the vehicle gets there, and how to get to the vehicle by superimposing boxes onto obstacles such as ice, such as cones, guy wires, and other things, and leads you directly to the vehicle and helps you navigate throughout your ride.
VEMI Labs was founded by director Richard Corey and Nicholas Giudici in 2008. The group explores unmet challenges within technology and works towards creating solutions, specifically in self-driving vehicles and bio-inspired tools for those who are visually impaired. Getting national recognition for their work is something Giudici and Corey dreamed about.
To get a recognition at this level is huge. This is a big deal. Getting invited to the White House is a very, very big deal. This is really quite a huge honor to get there.
The group at VEMI Labs attended the ceremony over Zoom, where various members of the White House, including Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg, spoke on how the lab's projects will benefit those with disabilities. Along with the recognition, the group also received a $300,000 cash prize, which they will use to improve AVA in the future.
We're going to be looking at what happens in the vehicle when you're in a fully autonomous vehicle. There's no other driver or no other human. How can that app help you identify things, understand how you're going to navigate when you come in or when you come out?
Matthew Juronsik, ABC7 and Fox 22.
Avian Haven has been a lifesaver for injured, abandoned, or orphan birds found throughout Maine since it was created in 1999.
As Jody Hersey tells us, the nonprofit could not rehabilitate and release these vulnerable creatures back into the wild if it wasn't for the dedication of their volunteers.
It's amazing the lengths that people go to save a bird.
In an inconspicuous location surrounded by a canopy of trees in the town of Freedom, you'll find Avian Haven. It's a type of vet hospital that specializes in the rehabilitation and welfare of birds and even turtles.
We aren't a zoo, we're not open to the public. We are a wildlife rehabilitation facility, so the birds that are coming in, we want them to be going back out into the wild, and that's always the goal. They're getting a range of care here, whether it's being in an intensive care unit where they're provided with heat and baby formula, or when they graduate up to being in a larger enclosure and then ultimately to being outside where they can be in a flight cage and mingle with other birds prior to being released.
However, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for the nonprofits transporters. These are drivers who clock thousands of miles from where these abandoned, orphaned, or injured birds are found to taxi them here to Avian Haven. Jane and Gary Scott of Swanville are just a few of these dedicated volunteers.
From eagles to hummingbirds to woodpeckers, everything. Yeah. I don't know if there's any we haven't really had yet.
The most we ever traveled in a day was about 300 miles, I think. We probably did like 4 or 5 different runs that day.
Kathleen Lally is another volunteer. She's been an extra set of hands at the nonprofit for the past 5 years.
Rewarding to take care of a bird and to watch that bird get better and then be released.
Lee Hallett says Avian Haven could always use more volunteers on a weekly or monthly basis.
Northern Maine, for example, is an area where we desperately need more transporters. We get calls all the time from up in the county, from down east, and it's really hard. We just have a handful of really dedicated drivers there.
To volunteer or for more information, log on to avianhaven.org. In Freedom, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
And before we hit weather, a national news spotlight. It's another court appearance for WNBA star Brittany Griner. Defense attorneys continued laying out their cases today.
Fox's Greg Palcott has more.
American basketball star Brittany Griner returned to a Russian courtroom Tuesday for her trial on drug charges. The defense continued making its case for leniency. During the hour-long hearing, a narcologist brought in by Griner's lawyers said it's likely cannabis oil found in the athlete's luggage was used for medicinal purposes.
Pain relief, anti-inflammatory, and relaxing effects. All these 3 components are usually present in sports-related traumas.
Griner has said she was carrying vape canisters containing the oil when she was arrested at a Moscow airport in February. Medical marijuana is illegal in Russia. Although the 31-year-old athlete has pled guilty, she claims she did not intend to break Russian law.
We are still saying that she involuntarily brought it here because she was in a rush, as she said, packing, and this medication, she just forgot to take it out of her luggage.
The 2-time Olympic gold medalist arrived in court carrying photographs of her wife and a teammate. She faces a jail sentence of up to 10 years. Griner returns to court on Wednesday when she will answer questions from the judge and prosecutor. Defense attorneys hope testimony from Griner and medical experts will help bring the basketball star a mild sentence.
We do hope that the court will take it into consideration, and the courts in Russia, in fact, has very broad discretion with regard to the sentence.
Brittany Griner's lawyers expect the trial to wrap up early next month. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
The time is now 8:23.
And let's get a look at our full weather forecast with meteorologist Evan Biggs. He joins us now.
Thank you very much, Joe and Emma. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studio in the Penobscot Plaza in Bangor, providing custom ink by licensed artists for over 20 years. All righty, things are nice and quiet out there this morning. We'll be seeing a lot of sunshine today. Later this afternoon, a little bit more cloud cover developing, but no precipitation expected at all. This front is sparked to our south will stay there, while high pressure will be keeping us nice and quiet for the next day or so. Tomorrow night, things get interesting for us with another system off toward our west. We'll begin to move in as well. But wave heights not too bad at this point, 2 to 4 feet wave heights according to some of the buoys. No small craft advisories in effect whatsoever. We'll have to see if that changes tomorrow with more gusty winds. I'll be on the way. Average high is 81 degrees, so we'll be in the lower to middle 80s for pretty much the next several days, though. So we'll be near to slightly above average, so nothing too ridiculous as we do move forward. But some humid days will soon be on the way as well. Not today. Dew points will be comfortable. It's Thursday into Friday. We'll have to watch out for dew points. That'll reach for around 65 degrees. But again, a front will quickly move through them by Friday, and especially through the week, and we'll be back more in that comfortable category. UV index forecast for today will be a little bit higher. It's at a 7. It's still high, a burn time of 30 minutes. Hats, sunglasses, sunscreen, and shade will still be needed as you do your outdoor activities. But moving forward for today, not too bad. Partly cloudy moving forward. Remaining partly cloudy, even mostly clear in a few spots later on tonight. Tomorrow, though, most of us will remain quiet with some increasing clouds. A small chance for an isolated shower late into the afternoon period, but better chances for showers and even a few rumbles of thunder on the way, especially as we head towards Thursday night and the parts of the morning period on Friday. And some of those storms Thursday night and early Friday morning could pack a little bit of a punch. There's a marginal risk out for this, so gusty winds and hail will be possible in a few spots as those storms move through. So for today, not too bad. Lower 80s, partly cloudy, not humid at all. That west wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, upper 50s becoming mostly clear, and the wind overall looking nice and calm. And for tomorrow, middle 80s, a little bit more humid, partly cloudy, maybe an isolated shower later in the afternoon. That south wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour in a few areas. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studio, showing storm chances back in the forecast by Friday. Highs in the mid 80s, lower 80s by Saturday, a small chance for rain, and partly cloudy on Sunday, highs in the mid 80s.
Protect your boat with a Shoremaster boat lift from Hammond Lumber Company. With premium lift options and flexible configurations, there's a Shoremaster that's right for you. And their exclusive Whisper winch offers quiet operation. Shoremaster lifts are easy to install, but if you need it, Hammond can arrange professional installation. And delivery is available from any of Hammond's 21 locations statewide. Get back on the water quickly and easily and enjoy summer made simple with a Shoremaster boat lift from Hammond Lumber Company.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Breakdowns, collisions, things happen on the road unexpectedly. But here at Phil's Towing, we understand. With years of experience, our friendly professionals are here for you when you need them the most, no matter how big the task or vehicle is. At Phil's Towing, with our heavy-duty trucks, we guarantee an arrival time of 30 minutes or less and are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Give us a call at Phil's Towing. Anytime, anywhere, anything.
I'm just a cleaning lady. I'm a cleaning for you.
You have a great attention to detail. I want you on call.
Don't do this. What other option do we have?
Tony De La Rosa. I just have a couple questions.
I did what I did to save my son. I never intended for things to get out of hand like this.
The Cleaning Lady. Watch the entire first season before new episodes this fall.
Good morning, everyone. Well, things have moved pretty quickly for Brewers' Matt Pichard since he signed with the Miami Marlins last week. And amid all the physicals and practices, the former Black Bear still had some time to chat with our Tyler Cruz about what it meant to get that call.
It was pretty cool to have the dreams as a kid. Always growing up, always wanted to get that phone call.
When the Miami Marlins came calling for Matthew Pichard last week, the Brewer native didn't hesitate.
It was Alex Smith from the Marlins, and he asked me if I wanted to play professional baseball, and it kind of took me back for a second. It's like, it's been my dream to always play, and it was a quick, easy yes.
And for Coach Nick Durba, it comes as no surprise.
In my opinion, it was a no-brainer.
Pichard was a force during his time with the Witches, and he took his talents up to Orono, where he spent 6 years and saw the Black Bears grow into contenders.
We had a few guys my junior and senior year. We all got together and we just were talking about how we wanted to change the atmosphere, the culture of the locker room. We wanted to have each other's backs. We wanted to be able to talk within each other as pitchers or hitters. Everybody was there to win. Everybody wanted to be there for a reason. And I think that's how we got success.
Matt's always had what they call stuff.
And he's like, Matt, you have stuff. You just got to work on it.
But it wasn't until year 3 that Coach Durba saw Pushard make some changes and really start to unlock his full potential.
Basically, the COVID year shows up, and he's a different arm. Just a different. The ball's coming out of his hand a little differently. He put some time into his body, and it has immediately impacted it in what he did with the baseball.
He just kind of needed a little push.
I feel like I yelled at Matt a lot. I feel like I yelled at him a lot.
If the coach is getting on you, he believes in you. He wants you to get better. He believes in you. He knows what you can do. And then when a coach stops talking to you, that's when you should worry.
His work ethic really changed after his sophomore year.
And now, at the next level, Matt's goal is to keep that same work ethic and let it take him as far as it will carry him.
Just keep grinding. I mean, you never know what can happen. You never know if tomorrow I get a phone call, hey, someone got hurt, we want to bring you up. So you never know what's going to happen.
I'm Tyler Cruz, reporting with ABC7 and Fox 22 Sports.
All right, thank you, Tyler, and congratulations again to Matt. And while we're diving into Pushard's path to the pros, why not transition to the main Senior Legion State Tournament? Day 4 going on at Husson. Bangor battling Queen City here. Winner to play for the state championship on Wednesday. 5th innings where we start, no score. Grady Van Edenstein drives one to straightaway center. Ben Karen settles under it. He has it, but that is deep enough to score TJ Lorena, so it's 1-0 River Dogs. Now in the 6th, Bangor's Matt Holmes this time. An absolute missile to right field. This one goes all the way to the fence, just off the base of the wall. Ben Karen scores to tie the game. They would go up 2-1. But Karen would come up clutch 2 in relief with that 1-run lead, stranding 2 runners on for the River Dogs. But in the end, it's Anthony Ciappone who walked it off for the River Dogs as they take it in 9 innings. 4-3 is your final. And we'll have coverage of the championship game between Bessie Motors and Queen City on Wednesday night. For now, though, the David Ortiz Hall of Fame tour continued into Tuesday. The Red Sox welcome back Big Papi to Fenway Park prior to Tuesday night's game, and they had a whole crew there. The timing worked out perfectly with the Guardians to have Terry Francona there, John Farrell, Theo Epstein, as well as some of Papi's teammates, Pedro Martinez, Jason Vertek, even Trot Nixon making his way back to Boston to celebrate Ortiz. So he threw out the first pitch, a nice spot on the low and outside corner. Special night at Fenway until the game actually started and the Red Sox lost yet again. Now that's the bad news. The good news is the Patriots training camp is officially underway in Foxborough. Pats players reported to Gillette Stadium on Tuesday. A number of new faces, including wide receiver Devontae Parker, first-round draft pick, offensive lineman Cole Strange, just to name a couple. All the chatter, though, has been about Mac Jones. He's shown up looking bigger, stronger. Even Bill Belichick has been impressed.
He's starting from a much, much higher point this year than where he started last year. So, his off-season work has been significant, and I think everyone recognizes, how well he prepares and how much further along he was than he was a year ago.
Now, Belichick also added that Mac Jones will have the input on some of the offensive decisions this year, likely more than last season. Of course, he's got a year under his belt now, but also Belichick sees no need to name an official offensive coordinator, so it's all hands on deck.
We're not really big on titles and all that, so I think everybody, it's important that we all work together and create a good final product, and so that's what we're going to try to do. That's what we've always done.
So several reports have a balance between Matt Patricia and Joe Judge sort of taking over for that quasi-offensive coordinator role. So should be interesting to see who at the end is holding that clipboard right up against their mouth. All righty, that's sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Out with the old and in with the new. Check out Pat's Pizza Specials. Tuesdays, $5 spaghetti and meatballs. Tuesday, all-day breadstick special. Wednesday, large one-topping pizzas, $8. Wednesday, small steak and cheese with french fries, $6.25. Friday, fish with french fries, $7.50. Saturday, small one-item pizza, fountain soda, $7.25. And you can still save some dough. Bring the family to the all-new Pat's Pizza, 662 Main Road North, Hamden.
On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from Newport, is sponsored by University of Maine Early College. Tuition-free online fall courses for high school students. umaine.edu/earlycollege. Four Seasons Floral and Gifts, a family-owned and operated business offering only the finest floral arrangements and gifts with friendly service. And the Farmer's Table in Corinna for breakfast, lunches, dinners, and desserts made from farm-fresh ingredients.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
It's Wednesday, July 27th. Devin Biggs has your forecast coming up.
Cartoon character Bugs Bunny is 82 today, first appearing in a Looney Tunes cartoon in 1940.
TV writer and producer Norman Lear turns 100 years old today. He created All in the Family, One Day at a Time, The Jeffersons, and a lot of other shows.
Today is Take Your Houseplants for a Walk Day, and it's Bagpipe Appreciation Day.
You have to appreciate the bagpipes, unless what we were talking about earlier, they're played at an ungodly time. Can't have them.
Yes. I mean, and one of our production assistants was saying, and if you play a wrong note, people are probably not going to know.
Yeah. It always sounds good, right?
It always sounds good.
And the other thing that sounds beautiful is the weather we're going to see today. Let's
Yes.
bring in Devin Biggs with another check of our forecast.
Good morning, Devin.
And thank you very much, Joe and Emma. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studio in the Penobscot Plaza in Bangor, providing custom ink by licensed artists for over 20 years. All righty, radar and satellite's pretty quiet out there this morning. A little bit of precipitation off toward the north outside the country. For us, though, it's going to be another quiet day as high pressure is going to be moving over us, so things will be remaining rather quiet with the stationary front staying well to our south, bringing plenty of flooding rain over to parts of the St. Louis area and other areas watching for concerns of flooding along that front too. But high pressure will keep us nice today under a partly cloudy sky, and it won't be very humid either. And we will be staying dry, but we will be watching clouds tonight before we watch for rain chances that will be developing later on this week. The wind's not too bad, though. They'll be at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. I'd say nothing ridiculous. They'll mainly be out of the west, but kind of jumping around the direction from time to time as well. But for today, lower 80s, not as humid, partly cloudy, with that west wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And later on tonight, upper 50s on the way, becoming mostly clear, and the wind overall looking nice and calm. And for tomorrow, partly cloudy, maybe an isolated shower later into the afternoon. We'll have highs in the middle 80s, becoming a little bit more humid as well. South wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour. And our early forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, partly cloudy skies, temperatures reaching for the lower 80s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Joe and Emma.
Thanks, Devin.
The town of Millbridge is hosting its annual Millbridge Days celebration this weekend. The celebration will feature a grand parade, the world-famous codfish relay, and live concerts from various local bands before ending with fireworks over the Narragansett Bay.
Throughout Friday and Saturday, there will be more than 100 local vendors selling handmade products. Volunteer Richard Bondurant says the event brings people to the Millbridge town and the surrounding area.
It instills a tremendous sense of community pride here in Millbridge and our surrounding communities as well. And it brings the community together, all walks of life, all ages, all income levels. Everybody comes together for a very fun time downtown.
He says Millbridge Days is regarded as the town's largest celebration. Mega Millions is living up to its name with an $830 million jackpot.
A top winning ticket has never been sold in Maine, but that could have changed overnight.
Mal Meyer is in South Portland with your odds of becoming a multimillionaire.
Credit okay?
How much would you pay to be set for life?
I mean, you may get someone that's going to buy one that's all of a sudden buying 10, or like the other one there that got just mass amount.
For some, it's routine. Others, it's spur of the moment.
Like the gentleman that I just had, no, it's up there, give me one, why not?
Over the last year, Broadway Variety sold the second highest number of lottery tickets in Maine.
I'm usually more of a pick 3, pick 4 type of gal.
But I want to pick my own.
But now Alicia Rogers is hoping to beat the odds with this.
I got the winning tickets.
The chances of that, 1 in 303 million.
Would you show up at work tomorrow?
Oh, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
One person could walk away with an estimated cash value of nearly $500 million. As long as they don't have to share with any other winners.
Would you split it with anyone else?
Yes.
Even your family?
Yeah, some of them.
So what to do then with all that money?
That's what I said. The first thing I would get would be a lawyer.
It's practical purchases people I talk to are thinking about.
What would it mean to win?
I mean, a lot. It's a lot of money. That goes a long way. It's a life-changing amount of money.
I would pay my children's student debt off. It's mostly just getting out of debt versus buying a certain thing.
Even if you don't get top dollar, you have a relatively good shot at winning any prize. The odds of that, just 1 in 24.
It would be amazing to win even any portion of it.
I don't need a lot of money. Maybe a good bourbon every now and then, but not a lot of money.
For 2 years, Sean Witt has delivered packages for UPS across the town of Windham. And after a simple, kind gesture on his route this week, one woman is making sure the world knows about it. Sean was making a delivery to Teresa Parker Rhodes' house when he noticed her empty trash can sitting at the end of her long driveway. So he took the time to grab it and bring it up to her house. Teresa noticed it later on her doorbell camera and immediately went to Facebook.
That's where Sean reached out to Teresa, and she could thank him personally. As much as Sean appreciates her acknowledgement, he says he does these things pretty often, normally pulling up multiple people's trash cans and offering treats to neighborhood dogs on his daily route. Sean also spent years working in the food industry and credits that work to the motto he lives by.
Those little acts of random kindness really help out a lot, and they go really far away, and it helps people forget about, kind of the bad stuff that's going on. Just, hey, seeing somebody doing a good thing where they know, like, I'm not expecting anything at all. I'm just trying to help out, just getting things done. And so, yeah, it feels nice that somebody does appreciate it.
Teresa says that she's always talking about acts of kindness, but rarely sees them being returned, adding that he's clearly a very kind man. And still to come here this morning, we'll have the latest from Hollywood.
Plus, 1/3 of workers in the U.S. say they are not saving nearly enough for retirement. Find out why.
Next up to bat for the next homies, Luke. Don't strike out this year when selling your home. Hit a home run. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience today.
My name is Joanne. This is my father.
I know what's happening with my body. I won't be able to take care of myself.
What would help me is if there could be somebody there that could check in on you.
I realize I have to do it.
Dine on the deck with a delicious view at the Lucerne Inn and Ryan's Pub, now open. Experience outdoor dining at its finest 7 days a week with award-winning dishes from their executive chef, Arturo Montes. Dining on the deck at Ryan's Pub is an unforgettable culinary experience you'll want to share with your family, friends, business partners, or that special someone. Your next visit to the Lucerne Inn will feel like the first all over again.
People today, they could spend half their lives over 50.
I get used to this.
So that's good. Make sure your happiness lives as long as you do. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP. Join today.
It takes all types to play Family Feud, the Doghouse Daddy.
What's the least sexy thing your wife has ever worn?
Granny panties, Steve.
The Family Blabbermouth.
Grandma's sick of Grandpa falling asleep in the middle of what?
Going to the bathroom.
Herman, get up off this toilet!
See all the types on Family Feud.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 22.
Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
The most talented home cooks return.
There's someone from every season.
This is MasterChef Back to Win.
Don't miss an all-new episode tonight only on Fox.
Welcome back. 1/3 of the workers in the United States say they are not saving nearly enough for retirement, and a new survey is revealing the 3 reasons as to why. According to the survey from finance website, a big reason some are choosing not to set aside money for their future is plainly because they simply do not have enough.
About 37% of the people surveyed said they lacked the funds, while 26% said they are unemployed. And the second reason, some felt they are too young. And lastly, about 20% said they are more focused on other investments. Financial experts warn waiting too long might make it more difficult to save for retirement. The bill called Let Experienced Pilots Fly Act would raise the mandatory commercial pilot retirement age from 65 to 67. It would also require pilots over the age of 65 to maintain a first-class medical certification.
The certification would need to be renewed every 6 months. The bill would also require airlines to continue using pilot training and qualification programs approved by the Federal Aviation Administration. It comes as airlines struggle to attract more pilots to meet demand, leading to flight cancellations and delays during the busy summer travel season. Now, Lego is letting you design your own minifigure. The company launched its online minifigure factory in the U.S.
It lets you create a minifigure of yourself. You can pick the heads, legs, torso, and accessories to your liking. The custom-made minifigures cost about $12 and can be made at lego.com.
Now, it's funny, like, not bashing Lego whatsoever, but out of the years and years they've always had it, the customization just comes along now.
That's a good point.
I've just always thought, like, the way, things work, but
there's been a market for that for a long time, especially with all these, like, online games allowing you to make your own avatar.
Exactly.
Everybody loves that.
I mean, even social media. Like, Facebook's been bugging me to make an avatar for, like, 3 months, and I refuse to. I'm like, it's not going to look pretty.
Right. Make it just ridiculous on purpose.
Exactly.
I like that route. Sotheby's is selling a piece of American history that is truly out of this world. The in-flight jacket worn by astronaut Buzz Aldrin on the 1969 Apollo 11 mission is selling for a record-breaking $2.8 million in New York on Tuesday. The bidding war for the coveted piece lasting about 10 minutes.
Cassandra Hatton, Sotheby's global head of science and popular culture, says the jacket, in addition to several other items from Aldrin's life, comprised the most stunning collection of NASA items on auction. The items owned by Aldrin, as well as the first ever Gregorius dinosaur skeleton, was offered at the auction and was said to be the highlights of the Geek Week.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood,
here's ABC's Matt Wolf.
Well, gee, Dad, I wouldn't hold it against a guy just because he wears short pants.
Reports of the death of Tony Dow, best known for his signature role as Wally Cleaver in the TV sitcom classic Leave It to Beaver, appear to be inaccurate. In an interview with KABC in Los Angeles, Dow's wife says the 77-year-old actor is in hospice, still alive. Multiple outlets reported his passing earlier Tuesday. The Facebook post by his management team that announced his death has been taken down. Dow was diagnosed in May with a recurrence of cancer. Kendrick Lamar, Lil Nas X, and Jack Harlow leading the pack with 7 nominations each for the 2022 MTV Video Music Awards.
Take off from fabricated dreams and the microwave memes. It's a real world outside.
Lamar's up for Best Hip Hop Video for N95. Doja Cat and Harry Styles getting 6 nominations each. Madonna's got a nod too from Adam X. The VMAs happen August 28th.
This is Jeopardy!
Double Jeopardy for Ken Jennings and Mayim Bialik. Word is they'll continue to split hosting duties on the long-running game show Jeopardy. According to Deadline, they're in the process of finalizing their deals. And Alexander Emmanuel Rodriguez, better known as A-Rod, is 47 Wednesday.
After the break, we have your upbeat stories this Wednesday morning.
But first, let's take another look at your forecast. Temperatures in the mid-80s today, partially cloudy skies. Those clouds will stick around tonight. Temperatures dropping down to the low 60s. It'll cool off just a bit. Tomorrow we're back up in the mid-80s. There is a chance of rain, but that won't be coming in until the afternoon. Most of the day will be sunny skies.
At Hashi's Auto Enhancing, our focus is on the appearance, longevity, and value of your vehicle. Does your undercarriage look like this? You can go from this to this. And if you have a new vehicle, you can avoid this. Our annual undercoating service will add years of life to your vehicle. At Hashi's, we also do Rhino linings. We can Rhino rocker panels, bumpers, trailers, side-by-sides, and more. We take pride in making your ride shine inside and out. Book one of our detailing packages.
Bring your ride to us to protect your investment.
It wasn't just a little bit of soot on an old family photo. It wasn't just a couple of books soaked in water. And when you called Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, you were not just another customer. That family photo hangs high yet again, and those irreplaceable first editions stay cemented in history. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
Hey, Red Sox fans, you've got to play You Pick 'em Red Sox at foxbangor.com. Local weekly winners receive prizes. Register now at foxbangor.com. You Pick 'em Red Sox is sponsored by Twin City Tint in Brewer, Comfort Shoes and More in Newport, Saliba's Rug Cleaners in Bangor, and Twin City Tile in Brewer.
Yes. 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 I'll have what she's having. And you can too. Get ready for the good dish. Delicious twists on your favorite comfort foods. Decadent desserts you can whip up in no time. And game-changing shortcuts. What's for dinner is about to get way easier. And way more fun than doing the dishes. So get ready to get dishing.
Weekdays at 1 on Fox 22.
And with Wednesday's business news, here's Leo Jonathan.
Inflation continues to rise as the Conference Board says its Consumer Confidence Index fell this month to its lowest level since February of last year. This as the Federal Reserve is expected to boost interest rates again. Inflation continues at historic levels as companies like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and Unilever all say they'll keep passing along higher prices for raw materials and labor to consumers. Revenues for the latest quarter at Alphabet, the parent company of Google, hit nearly $70 billion. That's up 13% from last year, but still the lowest growth rate in 2 years. And Visa's profits in the latest quarter up 32% from a year ago to $3.4 billion. I'm Leo Jonathan with Wednesday's Business on ABC 7.
And before we get to weather, coming up on the next break, we have a lot of food options from Blizzards at DQ that go to a great local cause around here. And we'll tune in to Mr. Food. He's having some fun at a carnival. Won't want to miss it, but here's Devin Biggs with a full look at our forecast.
Good morning, Devin.
Thank you very much, Joe and Emma. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studio in the Penobscot Plaza in Bangor, providing custom ink by licensed artists for over 20 years. All righty, things are nice and quiet out there this morning. We'll be seeing a lot of sunshine today. Later this afternoon, a little bit more cloud cover developing, but no precipitation expected at all. This front is sparked to our south will stay there, while high pressure will be keeping us nice and quiet for the next day or so. Tomorrow night, things get interesting for us with another system off toward our west. We'll begin to move in as well. But wave heights not too bad at this point, 2 to 4 feet wave heights according to some of the buoys. No small craft advisories in effect whatsoever. We'll have to see if that changes tomorrow with more gusty winds out be on the way. Average high is 81 degrees, so we'll be in the lower to middle 80s for pretty much the next several days, though. So we'll be near to slightly above average, so nothing too ridiculous as you do move forward. But some humid days will soon be on the way as well. Not today. Dew points will be comfortable. It's Thursday into Friday. We'll have to watch out for dew points. That'll reach for around 65 degrees. But again, a front will quickly move through them by Friday, and especially through the week, and we'll be back more in that comfortable category. UV index forecast for today will be a little bit higher. It's at a 7. It's still high, a burn time of 30 minutes. Hats, sunglasses, sunscreen, and shade will still be needed as you do your outdoor activities. But moving forward for today, not too bad. Partly cloudy moving forward. Remaining partly cloudy, even mostly clear in a few spots later on tonight. Tomorrow, though, most of us will remain quiet with some increasing clouds. A small chance for an isolated shower late into the afternoon period, but better chances for showers and even a few rumbles of thunder on the way, especially as we head towards Thursday night and the parts of the morning period on Friday. And some of those storms Thursday night and early Friday morning could pack a little bit of a punch. There's a marginal risk out for this, so gusty winds and hail will be possible in a few spots as those storms move through. So for today, not too bad. Lower 80s, partly cloudy, not humid at all. That west wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, upper 50s becoming mostly clear and the wind overall looking nice and calm. And for tomorrow, middle 80s, a little bit more humid, partly cloudy, maybe an isolated shower later in the afternoon. A south wind getting up to about 25 miles per hour in a few areas. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Diversified Ink Tattoo Studio, showing storm chances back in the forecast by Friday. Highs in the mid 80s, lower 80s by Saturday, a small chance for rain, and partly cloudy on Sunday, highs in the mid 80s.
The Penobscot Poorhouse, Bangor's favorite neighborhood pub, is your place to catch all your sports and live music. Don't miss a second of the action on our 24 TVs and big screen. Enjoy live music every Friday and Saturday nights, karaoke on Wednesdays, and trivia on Thursdays. Concert season is in full swing. Relax in one of our 2 outdoor seating areas, including our new beer garden. The Penobscot Poorhouse is the place to be before and after the show. The Penobscot Poorhouse, Bangor's #1 sports and entertainment location, 14 Larkin Street, off Main Street in Bangor. Hey, it's Eric from Green Bear 420. We've been in business since 2010 and going strong, so stop in and check us out. We specialize in glass art by over 100 local artists and even have live glass blowing. Plus, we carry incense, novelties, t-shirts, and hard-to-find items. We have tons of local products for the tie-dye wearing person in your circle of friends. Come see us at 531 Moosehead Trail in Newport. And remember, Green Bear 420, it's not just a store, it's a lifestyle.
Breakdowns, collisions. Things happen on the road unexpectedly. But here at Phil's Towing, we understand. With years of experience, our friendly professionals are here for you when you need them the most, no matter how big the task or vehicle is. At Phil's Towing, with our heavy-duty trucks, we guarantee an arrival time of 30 minutes or less and are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Give us a call at Phil's Towing. Anytime, anywhere, anything.
We went to Dallas to surprise this teacher.
How do you not lose patience with yourself?
But she surprised us.
I extend to myself what I extend to others. It's called grace.
I know what you're saying could really change my life.
And
you're a fan of Chip and Joanna?
A Magnolia super surprise. Next drill.
Wednesday at 3 on Fox 22.
We're halfway through our week-long salute to all the food and fun we find at carnivals and fairs across the country. Yesterday, we dove headfirst into cream puffs that were humongous. And since we needed to work off some of those calories, we decided to walk the midway and try our luck at the games. When it came to popping balloons, Patty was the winner. But the score evened out when it was time to see who was the fastest. And after working up a thirst, we stopped and got the best strawberry Italian ice I've ever had. It was so good, we asked the guy working the stand if he would tell us how to make it. He said the secret is to blend fresh strawberries with sugar, honey, lemon juice, and lots of ice. After it gets slushy, he said to add more ice and blend it again. Then pour it into a pan and freeze it for about an hour. When it firms up, he showed us how to scrape it until it became almost like snow. Let me tell you, this is perfect when the heat of summer takes a toll on you. And whether you eat it with a spoon like ice cream or squish it out of a cup like a snow cone, you can't miss. So why not go online and get the recipe for our strawberry Italian ice, along with all of our fair favorites? I'm Howard, taking a quick break before I head out to find even more ways for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Who would have thought that sugar and water could taste so good? It's all sugar and frozen water, but it's amazing.
Add some lemons.
And, oh, yeah. You can really spice those things up. You
right?
can make some crazy little design over there. But real quick, I wanted to mention, too, what is your favorite fair food or carnival food?
Well, yeah, on that note, I'd say, I mean, and it's not a fair, it's not a food, but
treat.
Lemonade is always something I go for when I'm at festivals and stuff like that. If there's fresh squeezed lemonade and Doughboys. I could go on and on and on. Hot dogs,
Mine's
French fries.
right at the top. Oreos, fried Oreos. Oh, man, every time I go right for them. And they're usually a little expensive, but that's okay.
I know. You do have to go to the fair with a little bit of savings, but it's worth it. I haven't been to the fair in years, but maybe this year. Dairy Queen is giving back to the community this week during Miracle Treat Day. On Thursday, participating Dairy Queens throughout the area will donate $1 or more from the sale of every blizzard to Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center. The funds will help kids and their families access high-quality care at the hospital, which is part of the Children's Miracle Network, an organization that raises funds for children's hospitals across the country.
Our crew is really excited. It's a day we all celebrate. We know we're going to be busy. We have fun, and everybody's happy, and we're doing it for a great cause.
Dairy Queen locations in Bangor, Brewer, Belfast, Ellsworth, and Old Town will be participating in this Thursday.